Hey guys, welcome back. I've got something really cool for you here. It's a cyclone spear. Also, the giveaway for the other spear that you will see in this video, it's still open, so if you want it, comment down below or comment on the other video. I'll have a link for it in below. Hey guys, welcome back. So, we didn't do fireworks on a live stream because the camera died, so sorry about that. But I do have something cool. So this is a cyclone spear. If you remember right, this cyclone knife, which is about this big, which I don't have it on me, it lost somewhere, was pretty cool. But this is a spear, so it's bigger, it's longer, so you can get more range out of it. You don't have to be up close and personal. Now this is probably the best tool ever. It's better than this, than this. Now you might be saying, how can this be better than this big gigantic thing? Surely this is better, right? You got more blades, more pointy. But let me show you how. Let me tell you how first this is better, and then I'll show you how. It makes a cut. Now, yes, if you were not to get treated, you would probably bleed to death. It would hit a major organ, you would bleed internally or just bleed out. But the problem is, it's a cut that can be stitched up really easily. In fact, anyone with some sort of medical knowledge can stitch it. Versus, when you stab someone with this, if you remember, with the handheld one, the shorter length one, which I don't have it with me, I'll put the video down in the link below so that way you can watch it. It ripped a chunk out. It didn't just leave a slash. It ripped a chunk out like this. Yes, I said it ripped a hole out of the thing, which it was a pineapple, which is a little bit of a harder skinned fruit. Anyways, it doesn't matter. The point is it ripped a hole out. It didn't just cut the thing like that. It ripped a hole out. Now let me show you why this is better, so you get a better visual. Come on, chicken, go, chicken. Never mind them. They already know they're getting fed, so they're over here wanting this watermelon. Now, this thing looks dangerous, and it is. If I were to say, stab it, that is a pretty deep cut. I mean, that was anywhere in your body, you probably would bleed to death. And again, it's pretty deep, and it's pretty impressive. Not saying it isn't, but anyone with a surgical tool can stitch this. It's a cut. It's not ripping a chunk out, meaning the ability to stitch that is easy. You may think, what about this thing? Yes, it's big, it's scary. It probably would kill you if someone stabbed you with it. But again, as you see, very impressive all the way through. You probably, again, would bleed to death. Absolutely. Without surgical help. But if you pull it out here, you can see right here, it's a cut. Again, anyone with some sort of medical knowledge can come by and stitch this and you'd be okay. Therefore, the risk, if you had anyone with you that had any sort of medical help, is pretty minimal, as long as they knew what they were doing. Now here's where this thing comes in. This thing, again, it looks awesome. It's red and black, and people have always said, well, it's hard to stitch. And they're actually correct. This is hard to stitch. Just watch why, though, it's hard to stitch. Now watch. It's in deep. I rip it out. Look what came out. I just ripped a hole. If this was your body, I just ripped a hole out of you that big around. You can't stitch that. That's like a bullet wound. Look, I can push my finger around there. That's how deep that is. That is what this thing does. You cannot stitch something that is a hole. You have to use plastic surgery, I imagine, many hours of surgery of that. But even with surgical knowledge, you can't stitch a hole. There's no way you can stitch a hole. That's, again, proof. Now, you may think, well, yeah, it's a stabbing tool, you know, that's all it's good for. Not necessarily. This thing, yes, you can stab with it. You can also slice. And yeah, watch, I can slice like this. And look at that, it cut it completely in half cleanly. And that's impressive. That is very impressive with this. I mean, is it gonna do that? Probably not. But is it only a stabbing tool? No. Let me show you what I mean. Again, this, just cut that completely in half. No problem. Let me show you what the knife does too, though. This does exactly the same thing. If you were to go and see, exact same thing. Clean cut in half. Now let me show you why that isn't just a stabbing tool too, like some people would allude to. Here, chickens. Over there. Go get. Okay, so let's say something gets in close and you can't actually stab it. Watch, it's not just a stabbing tool. Like most things like this, you whack them with this, it will hurt. It might even break bones. But let me show you. See? Not just a stabbing tool. Sure, it's a watermelon, but if that was your face, that would be your face just smashed open. Again, not just a stabbing tool. But what if you have to, say, block with it? You know what I mean? If you have to block. Well, the end of it can be a pretty good tool too. Watch. See? Something gets in, say, close here. You block, punch. Because again, you can do that with these types of tools. They aren't just stabbing tools. You whack someone in the face with this, it's gonna hurt. It might even break their face. Now, like always, we always do a strength test, because if a weapon cannot withstand a strength test, it's just a novelty item. If a weapon can't withstand being pushed a little bit, it's just a decoration. You might as well hang it up on a wall and say, wow, it looks so cool. So as always, we're doing a strength test. Got a wooden box here. Do maybe a slash or a stab and a slash just to see. And we got a metal water bottle too that doesn't work because it leaks. It's got holes in it. So again, we'll just see if it's a novelty item or if it's a weapon, because a good weapon can withstand some punishment without snapping or bending or chipping. That worked out pretty well. We'll try a slash now. Well, still looks pretty straight. You can tell here. Looks pretty straight. Seems pretty good. But that was wood. Metal's a little bit more abrasive. So let's try metal. Okay, so I got a metal water bottle here. I'm going to stab it. I'm going to slash it. A good weapon again. Shouldn't chip, break, bend, or anything like that. And again, metal is more abrasive, so it's a little better test. Wood is hard. Metal is even harder. Let's go with slashes first. Do one more on the other side. Now, it's pretty straight. The phalanges here on these sides don't seem to be any duller, which is good. Let's try the tip now. Or whatever you would call these, the spirals. Yeah, come on. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ooh. That has a triangle hole. Dang. One more time. I think it deflected a little bit from the bend. Let's direct it. I mean, it punctured. You can tell here. It'll focus. It punctured. There's a hole there. So this is actually better than the spear. And the spear, if you remember, couldn't puncture steel. This punctured. See the hole there? See in there. So this is actually, this right here is actually better for body armor, because it will pierce body armor. Because if you can see the hole, it would puncture you in armor. Now, if you liked what you've seen, consider subscribing. It helps me make more content like this. And I'm sorry about not posting very much. Life just gets busy. Again, subscribe if you enjoyed, and leave a like.